I've traveled across most of the country in my car, and today I got pulled over by the police for maybe the first time ever. I can't even remember the last time I've been pulled over, so it's been months or it's never happened. Now, this was entirely my fault. I was in San Diego and essentially I cut a police officer off. I didn't know what happened because the roads here were kind of dark, confusing. It was nighttime, and it was only like my third full day ever, maybe fourth, in San Diego. Now I see the lights, they pull me over. I'm like, starting to stress, and he knocks on my window. We go through the whole routine. I give him my driver's license, and he's waiting for me to get the insurance. So he goes back to his car for me to get out my car insurance. Anyhow, I'm stressing a bit, but I finally find my insurance. I show it to him, and I'm hoping maybe he's cooled off a little bit because he got into his car, and I'm like, geez, it really was not intentional, but I could see how this could blow out of proportion if he's mad and like I say the wrong thing. I was trying to say the right thing, but I was like also stumbling over my words. I think when I first rolled down the window, I was like just so taken aback. I was like, oh, I didn't see you there, and that's what I said. I said, I didn't see you there, and oh, clearly I'm not from this state. And he was just like, driver's license, please. And so my initial feeling was like, okay, this guy just means business. He doesn't care what I say. He just wants my license. He's upset. This is not going well. And just for me studying psychology, I knew this was like partially like an emotional reaction, but also like I was like knew I wasn't off to a good start. My social skills weren't there. I wasn't ready. I didn't know what to say. And so when he got back there, I was like starting to get kind of worried. So then I hand him my insurance. He goes through the spiel of like checking it, checks my like car information. And then he says, hey, I've cut people off too. Just like make sure you don't do it again. And have a nice day. Do you have any questions? Something like that. He says something like that. And I was so relieved. And all I could say back was, no, just thank you so much. And, this is my third day ever in San Diego. So I'm sorry. And then, like the wind, he was gone. So luckily, this was a nice police officer, and you might be like, oh, he couldn't have charged you with anything. I mean, maybe he could have like nailed me with a bunch of stuff if he really wanted to. You never know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's the first time I've been pulled over in probably years, and did not feel good. Obviously, it wasn't the biggest deal, but it was my fault. And looking back, if anything, I should be more vigilant on the roads. I think I got a little too comfortable just because I hadn't been pulled over for so long, and the roads were so dark. It was nighttime, and I think it was two roads, local roads, merging into one. San Diego just has some really weird roads that are very uphill and downhill. I've never encountered something like this before. So the whole thing was kind of weird. And if anything, having read so many like books on psychology and social skills, I was a little disappointed at my performance because, partially I was caught off guard, and it wasn't like I'm trying to manipulate him, but like the way I came across didn't put me in the best standings. I was kind of like slow with my words, kind of like, non-expressive, kind of frozen. And he could have, gotten suspicious on that. I wasn't drinking. I don't drink. But, you never know. He could have been like, why is this guy so, like, he's not really talking much. He's not. And he could have gotten me or, like, made me do a whole alcohol screening or something. So, if I could have done it again, I would have been more vigilant on the roads, not cut him off, which was not my intention. And then when I responded, I could have just, met him from the first time and the second time where he was at, and just, said, the worst thing you could do is you could argue with them and say, no, I didn't cut you off, or like, get defensive or argumentative. So I should have been like, you're completely right. I'm totally sorry. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't intentional at all. Let me explain. I didn't see you there because this is my fourth day ever in San Diego. The roads are so different. I'm just visiting. I've never been even close to here. It is completely my fault. I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. And just starting off like that, like a normal human being, without being like mute or like kind of slurred. I wasn't even slurred with my words, but more just like very slow with how I talked. I think that could have gone even better. Luckily, he was a nice guy. Shout out to the San Diego police. But you know, if it was just another cop in a more angry, aggravated mood, who knows what would have happened. So that's my lesson. You know, I think if anything, I probably did come off a little defensive, even if it was unintentional at the beginning, and luckily it didn't lead anywhere. But that's my story. First time ever.